Cheers to happiness.
Cheers to happiness.
Welcome
Cheers to
to
happiness.
In the Green Room. I'm Kinga.
And this is Owen.
And I'm happy.
And I'm Angel Virtuoso.
This is our guest, Angel, on
Hi.
the show today.
Welcome, Angel, and welcome, Richard Betts.
Thank you.
And welcome, happiness.
Happiness.
That's our theme today.
Happiness is always welcome.
And
guess
why
what?
is healthy happy? Happy is
I'm
healthy.
even told that it's actually a choice. Imagine that.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
It is
Choose
a choice.
to be happy.
I
Like
agree.
right now, just talking about it, I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
I
makes you feel
agree.
better.
Today I was in a poopy mood because I was just like thinking about the nuances of my life. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to meet Kinga and Owen and I'm going to have a good time. And I'm going to smile and I'm going to
Oh, yeah.
be happy and change my day and look at where I'm at. Genuinely smiling, very happy, dimples
That's not a fake
showing.
smile.
Yeah.
No. That's the real
It's all
thing.
about your
Yeah.
mentality. If
It's
you go
real.
if you go into a day thinking that it's gonna be a bad day, it's gonna be a bad day. But if
Right.
you go into a day thinking you're gonna have a great time and make a lot of progress, you're gonna be happy and thrive.
Right.
And like you said, you choose your thoughts. You choose
Choose
how you're
happiness.
going to feel. You choose happiness.
Choose
and
happiness.
if you keep choosing it,
You know,
that
that doesn't mean
happiness.
that you're living in a fantasy land.
Right.
You know,
Correct.
that everything,
Are you sure?
the whole world's going to shit. And
Well, maybe you're
you
living
can
with rose-colored
choose
glasses
to,
on.
You know, it's like you can choose your reaction to anything that happens in your
Yes.
life, basically, right? And in the face of all this negativity, which is an illusion anyway, choose to be happy, and then you have more connections.
Mhm.
The more happier, then the more you connect with people.
Well, when you're
And it
walking down the
spreads,
street
right?
or around wherever you are, you know, where you're frequenting and you see people smiling,
Makes you want
it's
to smile.
contagious.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're
and
like,
it's-
what
You
is
smile
that
back.
There
about?
are places
I wanna
in
go
the
be a part of it,
world,
yeah.
there are
Yeah.
countries and cultures where it's much more like that than it is here.
Yes.
Right. And so smiling makes you happy.
Because they also have a connection with each other. I feel like our connection is through the media
I
and,
agree.
you know,
Oh.
internet and stuff like that. And so we begin to lose the connection. We start to compare, and that's like the thief of happiness and joy, right? But in other countries and cultures, they're just like, hey, I'm walking outside and I'm going to go greet my neighbors and, you know,
Yeah.
talk to my family upstairs and,
Yeah.
you know, really just enjoy what's going on right now, right here. in
Well,
the
I
moment.
think right here
Mhm.
in our America, I only know people that are friendly. I only hang out with people that smile and are kind and nice, and my neighbors and my friends. And so I don't know what you guys are talking about.
'Cause
I
you
think
made
in
a
this country
choice.
right here,
But you made a choice, and see, that's exactly what Richard was saying. You
Mhm.
can make a choice and be conscious about being happy. You choose to go out into your life and say,
I
hey,
do.
I'm not going to connect with people who bring me down,
Mm.
or I'm not going to connect with people who are, you know,
Yes.
spiteful or like, you know, put on energy towards me.
Yes.
I'm going to connect with those that enlighten me and that I can feel powerful enough to be my true self with.
yes,
You
You
made
that's
made your
exactly
choice.
right.
Yes.
If you
Yeah.
followed me around for like months and you were with me every day
That would
and
be
you
cool.
saw
You'd go crazy.
I'm thinking about
I do it.
being
I
such
do
a
it every day.
whirlwind.
I'm just kidding.
What a
you would have
whirlwind.
fun,
No, it's
you
a
would
lot of fun. It's a
smile,
lot of fun,
and
yeah.
you'd meet a lot of people, and you'd see happy, smiling people
Mhm.
that are kind, that are genuine.
Yeah.
Owen, is that what you see?
Oh yeah, I 100% agree.
100%.
You only put yourself around people that make you a better person. So yeah.
Yes, yes.
Obviously,
Absolutely.
I'm speaking in general terms as a culture. This
So
is a
hold on, we have to
culture-
introduce you.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Who are you?
Let's get with it.
Okay.
Angel
And I have to
Virtuoso.
pour some
Who are
wine,
you?
too.
Hello.
Your glass,
My
please.
name is Angel Virtuoso. I'm a wardrobe stylist, creative director, and I produce and direct my own multimedia fashion shows. And then I have a bunch of other fucking hobbies that
And you're
contribute
ubiquitous. You do
to
it
the
everywhere.
name Virtuoso, yes.
Mhm.
And I do it everywhere.
You've been in Paris recently.
I love Paris. I
Yes.
love Marseille. I love France in general.
Marseille.
Marseille. So beautiful.
Is that where this
Oh my
wine is from?
gosh.
This wine is from France.
Really?
Yay!
Okay, cool.
Hello, oui, oui, oui. Bonjour. Bonjour, madame.
I'm sure. Oh, you.
Yeah. See,
Oh, wait, I looked
Angel actually taught me a very important thing today. She said that cheersing with water is actually frowned upon.
Yeah.
In a lot of different
Wait, hold on. Let me think of her quote. I think she said, "Cheers to do a cheers with water is a poverty mindset."
Absolutely.
And French people say that.
Yeah, I've been told that when I go to France, they're
So-
like, you don't choose like cheers water. I'm
No.
like, oh, okay,
No.
cool.
So they say no cheersing with water. So
Yeah.
here we go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to happiness, smiling, and spreading happiness and love. And that's what we're doing because we're here saving the planet.
Mm-hmm.
One wine at a
show
time.
One
at a
show,
time.
show at a time.
and wine
One
at a
swivel
time.
at a time.
So let me give you a little bit about this wine. So this
Yes.
is from a Languedoc region, southwest France, very large wine region, and this is from a little tiny area within that called La Clap.
La-
La Clap.
Help me pronounce it.
La Clap.
La clap.
Clap.
Yes.
Clap.
It's kind of like that. Yeah.
La clap.
Something in there.
Right.
La Clap.
La clap. How close is that to France?
It's in France,
I
baby.
mean,
France.
to Paris, Paris.
Well, Paris would be
Like 3-4 hours,
northeast, I guess. you know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we're
So
talking
this
about
is
the
down near
songs
the
before.
Mediterranean, you know. On Mediterranean, it goes like kind
Is
of
it by
like.
Nice, France?
Well, Nice would be east of there. This is like in the southwestern part of southern France. You know.
You know
Big-
that
big
I was
area,
blessed to go to
Languedoc.
Europe every
Yeah.
summer as a kid for the entire summer.
Wow.
Entire summer.
So
My dad,
lucky.
as a
No wonder she's
cardiologist,
happy.
would
Jeez.
would close down his practice, or he'd give his patients
Oh
to
my
his doctor associate, Dr. Bench, and he would oversee his patients. And we would, the day school was out, we'd go to Europe, and we'd come back like the day before.
Yeah.
And I as a kid, I'd be like, I have to go to Europe again.
Oh,
Yeah, because you
geez.
didn't understand.
Right.
What
I didn't
kind
understand,
Of experience
But
that was.
now looking back, I
Yeah.
can't believe all the experiences and how much my parents sacrificed and how much
Yeah.
joy and how much, really worldly and all the art and all the,
Yeah, that you got exposed to.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
It's,
incredible.
it's such a learning experience.
Yes.
It's way better than school.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's real
it's
life.
it's real life, and you
history.
learn so much. Oh, we would go from art gallery to art museum to just museum, and just meet people and artists, and it just is incredible. Eat the food.
That's phenomenal. I think
Yeah.
that's probably every parent's dream is to give their kids that kind of life and be able to open them up to new territory and just like new history and like have them learning. I want that for my kids,
Well,
so
but a lot of
I'm working
parents
hard to make that
don't have that
happen.
mindset
So
to
blessed.
begin with.
Right, right.
So
So, anyway,
blessed.
so listen, this wine is here's the really cool thing about this wine is the Fabre family.
Wait, where do we buy this?
I don't know. You can't get this in Arizona.
Is it Atlas?
No, I don't think you can buy this here because I got this from a friend of mine who lives in the Bay
Wow.
Area.
Very
Wow.
And he has a company called Authentic Wine Select. He's an importer and distributor,
Wow.
and I got this directly from him.
Wow.
And when I when I Googled it to try to find it here, I don't think there's any distributor for it in Arizona.
Incredible.
But here's
So,
here's
haha,
the thing. So the
you
Fabre
guys can't
family,
drink
Mr.
this. We
Fabre,
only can.
check this out. Check this out. You've heard of Chateau Lafite Rothschild?
Of course I
It's
have.
one of the first growth, very famous Bordeaux
Mhm.
wine. This guy, I forget his first name. We call him Mr. Fabre.
Fabre.
Was the director of winemaking at Lafite Rothschild for 12 years.
Wow.
Okay.
And then he went on his
Awesome.
own.
So then he and his family moved down to Languedoc in southern France, where life is a little bit,
Relaxed.
Leisurely.
more relaxed and leisurely. And
Luxury?
and
Would you
partnered.
say luxury?
Well,
Woo-wee,
and partnered
madame.
with some people down there, and bought some great vineyards, and they make this wine. And this is grapes you're familiar with: Syrah, Grenache, Mourvedre,
Mourvedre.
GSM. You know,
Wait, is it
Yeah.
Mourvedre?
Mourvedre.
Oh, wait, why did I think it was
Mourvedre.
Mourvedre?
GSM
It is
makes
well because that's the way it's
of the
spelled,
best
R-E. But
those
in France they
grapes.
would just say Mourvedre.
Okay, but here in the States, do we say Mourvedre?
Mourvedre.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
really loving your French.
Where's
accent.
Chet? Because Chet would be
I'm
making fun of me.
loving
Chet would be like, oh,
Yeah,
Mom,
yeah.
you don't know how to say anything.
So
we
this
miss
is
you,
such a
Chet.
cool wine.
Hey,
Such a
Chet,
cool
where are you?
wine. And,
Poor Chet's sick.
You know, this
Get better.
is great wine from that region, from Languedoc. It's a big region, but this small little appellation called La Clap, and the winemaking, obviously the guy with that kind of experience, and they're making this is a wine that probably retails for mid-20s.
But to us, it's priceless because nobody can get it here.
Yeah, but
It's
Very
priceless.
let me start it. I don't know what their
The peak of happiness.
production is, but the stunning
The
wine.
peak
I thought-
of
I thought-
happiness. That could be the title of the show.
The peak of happiness.
The peak of that could be a book. Oh, you should.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh!
Why make
Wait
you
a
happy?
minute. That
Yeah.
could be everything.
That's what I'm saying.
the peak t-shirts.
Love it.
T-shirts. I'm making a clothing line. I'm making a clothing line. What can I say?
I'm here for it.
I'm gonna keep just listing off phrases.
Yeah. That's
So
what I
We
do.
won't
I
air
can
this
order a
until
case
you
for you.
Yeah, I gotta
create it. Or
yeah.
what's the word you
Patent.
patent?
Or
Yeah,
copy-
trademark
or
and
trademark,
copyright.
yeah, yeah.
Both.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then we'll
Shit,
record
all
this.
three if it ends up. But patents are really hard to get, actually.
Yeah.
Because you have to be very much inventive. Like, it cannot be something that's remotely
Yeah,
here
and
in
you've
the
got to
world.
pay a patent attorney a lot of money
Yeah.
to get a
Yeah.
patent too.
I might skip that part.
Right.
No, you don't.
need to.
All you have to
For
do,
now.
no, all you have to do is go get that domain with GoDaddy, and I know what you can do.
Really?
Yeah.
She's scheming
Well,
over there.
Yeah.
Domain is one patent process, but that's not a patent.
No, you don't need a patent for that. You can just
For
take
what?
that with, if you can get that, look it up. Look and see if it's taken.
What do you need?
Well, let's
You're
do that after the
patenting a
show.
phrase?
We're ready
You
to
don't
go.
patent a phrase, you copyright a phrase.
Okay, so back to this beautiful angel. Here she is, do you see her little wings?
With the wings.
Do you see the
And
wings?
people are like, "What's your name? What? What?" I'm like, "Angel with the wings." I always do that. I'm like, so funny.
And she brings smiles to us. Have you noticed that we all just smile? Because look at that smile.
I know, and I just
I
got
look
two
at her and I wanna
tunes for the
smile.
first time. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
So how did you get into fashion? How did you get into being this designer stylist? And with the emphasis of sustainability.
Yes, absolutely.
That's so important to us.
So when I was growing up, my mom, she went to school for fashion merchandising. So I used to look through her books a lot. She pretty much brought up that core memory for me because I felt like I was really academically focused. But I would do little projects like making bow ties out of t-shirts and different fabrics from Walmart. I do remember that because I used to sell out at school in my junior year.
She loves talking about that. It's
I
cute.
do. I'm like, wow, I was doing that. And they were really
Ty, we
plump and
love you.
cool, you know? So pretty much,
Taquara.
yeah, that's my mom,
Making
Taquara.
bow
Shout out.
ties cool in middle school that's quite a feat right there.
Yeah, right?
Right?
That's what she was doing.
Yeah.
It was
that's
it was my
awesome.
junior year in high school when I was doing that. And I would just
What would you
like,
sell them for?
honestly, I don't even remember, but it couldn't have been too much. I mean, I didn't come out of high school rich, you know what I mean? But I definitely know that I enjoyed making them, and I would make them out of like old t-shirts and different fabrics from Walmart, and so that was cool. I was planning on being a medical examiner when I graduated high school, so it's
Examining
completely
what?
different. Medical examiner, like examining bodies when they're dead, you know?
Yeah.
Dead
Oh,
bodies.
really?
Yeah, that's
The
what I wanted to
ME.
do.
Seriously?
yeah,
That's interesting.
Like my junior year, I was taking physics, chemistry, psychology, sports anatomy, all at the same time, and that was my goal. But then I had like a little setback where I got like into some little peer pressures of life and stuff like that, and so my path just shifted. I ended up going into the military for 1 year, not a long time at all. And then when just 1 year, I was in Fort Leonard Wood in the Army, chemical specialist. But yeah,
Very cool.
when I got
1 year, that's cool.
1 year,
That's a
yeah,
long time.
it is kind of a long time.
That's a huge long time.
Thank you
That's
so
a
much
short
because
time.
sometimes I'm like,
That's a long
you know,
time.
Nobody goes to
We
the
served our
Army
country
for
for 1 year.
because
That's
I'm a
long time.
veteran, and so when I'm
You're a
talking to
veteran.
other veterans,
So were you discharged?
yeah, honorably, my first
After 1
sergeant,
year?
yeah, because I was having trouble with the run in the PT. I was a sprinter in middle school and high school, so I ran 400 meter dash, 4x1 relay, 100 meter dash. I ran all of those kinds of things, and so having to run 11 miles every day, that just wasn't cutting it for me. And in the PT, I would always be like missing my run time by 30 seconds to a minute, which in running time is quite a long time. So my first sergeant,
No, meaning they wanted you to go faster?
yeah, pretty much. So like, say for
What?
instance, the timing was 18 minutes and 30
Wait, hold on.
seconds.
How,
for the 2
like,
mile.
what was the time they wanted you to run this
I
11
believe it
miles?
was 18 minutes and 30 seconds because I would always finish around like 19 minutes, 19:30, you know?
They're that
And
hard on everybody?
they
That's
were that
volunteering?
hard, yeah, because they're like, oh, you won't
This
be
is
able
what
to
you
run
go
away.
through in boot camp.
Oh my god, I want to hear
Right.
more about this. Okay,
Yeah.
This is the
So-
military, boot camp.
Wow. Wow.
I was doing really well in school. Like, I was great at schooling. I was doing like 41 push-ups per 2
Am
minutes.
I too old to join?
Huh?
If somebody could force me to exercise, I would love
I
that.
don't think me. I'm like,
I don't know if that's a great idea.
I'm not sure if you would have fun with that.
No, seriously.
carrying a
How exciting.
75-pound
No,
rucksack
no,
up a
no,
mountain.
no.
You don't want to do
That
that right
sounds
now.
fun.
Oh my gosh.
Do they have an age
We'll
limit?
do it here because we're in Phoenix.
I mean,
and we
you
can't.
know, I'm just barely approaching 35.
That'll be the
Can I
next
get in?
hike adventure.
Yeah, right?
You can carry the rucksack up the,
Quite
up the
literally.
hill.
So pretty much after I got out of the military, I moved to Houston.
Wait, because they said you were not running fast enough?
Yeah, I wasn't completing the running time. So my first sergeant, he was amazing. He's like, dude, you're great in school. You're doing 41 push-ups every 2 minutes. You're doing 78 sit-ups every 2 minutes. You can't pass a run by 30 seconds. I'm going to spare you. Do you want to get out of the military?
Really?
And yes, he literally asked me, my first sergeant, shout out First Sergeant Snell. I love you.
Wow.
You helped me catapult my life.
Wow.
Okay? And
That's
so
incredible.
pretty much I was like, yes, absolutely. He said, okay, I'll get you an honorable discharge. Don't worry about it. Like, I see you and I just want you to get out. And I was like, okay,
Cool.
cool. Me too.
Good for you.
Right.
That's an
I'm very
unusual
grateful.
story. Yeah.
Very grateful. It doesn't happen like that ever.
Did you feel like you were suffering with this time? Or
Yeah, I felt like I was suffering. I was miserable every day. It was to the point where when we were running, like the people, the other privates, they would be running back because they had completed everything, and I'm still walking. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, no, like I can't
man.
physically take this.
This is right out of a movie.
Yeah,
I
I
could
was
just see the
like-
scene, right?
I'm like walking, and then there's a drill sergeant behind me.
Oh,
Come on,
God.
Jackson, let's get it, because
Oh,
that's my
this is
real last
great.
name, you know.
yeah.
And so they're like, Jackson, like, you gotta keep going, And I'm like, I'm not doing that. And then everybody's running past me to go back to the barracks. And I'm like,
Oh, dear.
well, you know, like, oh, well. So pretty much when I got out of the military, I moved to Houston. And I used to have a lot of dead roses around my room, like bouquets upon bouquets. I don't know why. Dead roses have just always been my favorite because they are one of the only flowers and things in general that die and they still have an aspect of perfection and just like beauty to them that's everlasting. It's very timeless.
Yeah,
and
I
so
agree with that.
Mhm.
I was looking around my room one day and I was like, I kind of want to be a fashion designer. I was like, I don't know why, really don't know why, but I was like, I want to be a fashion designer and I'm going to name this line Rosa Muertos after like Rosa Muerte, which is dead roses, quite literally translated.
Mhm.
And so that's
Yes.
when I started thinking about fashion. But I knew I couldn't sew. And I was just like, okay, whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but it's going to turn into something.
Yeah.
Well, the next year I got offered to live in New York with my best friend. We lived in this 3-tier townhouse with like a bunch of other people and it was crazy. And so I started shopping, but I was 20 years old. I moved to New York with $200 in my pocket, which covered my first week of rent. Not even month, week. So I was like, okay, well, I need to look fabulous because I'm in New York. What am I going to do? I was living in Queens, and so I went down to Jamaica, Queens, which is notorious for their shopping center and like all of their food and stuff. So they would have these dollar racks outside and like outside of the big stores and stuff. And so I would just buy all of this dollar clothing and just like spice it up, you know?
Kind of like the Goodwill.
Yes,
We love the
absolutely.
Goodwill.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing. And then I was like, okay, this is the turn of Instagram where people were really like just getting on Instagram and stuff. So I was like, oh, let me style you. And this is how much my outfit costs. You know, this skirt for $1, these shoes for $10. And like, I wasn't getting a lot of traction to be people's stylist, but it was fun for me. And I realized how impactful I was being to my own self and my own confidence with this low budget clothing.
You're
You know what I
building
mean?
your craft, yeah.
Yeah, I was completely building my craft.
Yeah.
And so that is pretty much how my brain got started in it. As far as professionalism and my industry experience, I moved to Phoenix. I moved here in 2017 and I started working with an institution called Fabric. They're one of the largest, they are the largest fashion incubator in Phoenix or Arizona in general. And they're very community based as well. So they had an annual fashion show named the Brave Wings Fashion Show. And I was the stylist assistant to the stylist to the designer. And that was my very first job, which I think is really classic and like
Wow.
very fashion industry like, right? They're like,
They
oh, you got to
are.
bring everybody coffee first before you can do anything,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
But I felt like more of a human in that show. Shout out to Fabric and Ellen Diane because Ellen Diane was the designer and she really believed in me. So that is pretty much how I got my start here in Phoenix and in Arizona in general. Sustainability has always been important to me because I did not grow up wealthy. I grew up not necessarily dirt poor, but there was an aspect of you're gonna have to make do with what you have and what you can get, you know.
Yeah.
So I was always thrifting. My
You have
mom
to
would
be
always thrift. Resourceful, exactly. Yeah.
Sustainable.
I grew up with my mom having pairs of jeans that were 20 years old in pristine condition because she believed in it doesn't matter how much you're paying for something. If you keep it up, if you show respect, you know, you're going to be able to have long lasting quality things. So I've always just thrifted. I've always been about discount. Again, not a rich person. So it was just one of those things. But I found my power in that because honestly, most of the stuff that are in the thrift stores are way better than designer. And it's not even about like the actual design, it's the quality for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Quality is
completely the
number
quality.
one,
Yeah.
Follow the fabric,
Yes.
the workmanship.
Right,
Exactly.
right. The beading.
Well, and
the-
anytime you can repurpose, you're being better to our environment.
Exactly.
And to loving our planet.
And then I started learning about that. I started learning about the actual ins and outs of sustainability and how important it is. And then with the rise of fast fashion, you know, in the middle of my
fast fashion.
career,
Ooh.
I was just like, whoa,
Rise
this
of
is
what?
fast fashion.
Fast fashion.
Yes.
You've never heard of that?
What is this?
That's
I don't know
stuff
this
that's bad for
term.
the environment.
Yes.
It's terrible.
So pretty much brands like Fashion Nova, Shein, there's so many fast fashion brands out there. It's just pretty much cheap quality clothing
Okay.
that is mass produced to an unfathomable scale
And-
just to get it out and,
And
make
grossly
money.
overpriced.
Grossly,
Wait, what's
no,
the one that's at
sometimes it's
Fashion Square?
underpriced.
Oh gosh, but I
Yes.
can't think of it.
Oh, really?
Yes, underpriced.
It's what's the one that's very inexpensive? It's at Fashion Square.
I don't know.
H&M?
Yes, H&M.
Oh, H&M.
That's total
There-
fast fashion.
Yeah, it
Yes,
kind of is.
very-
It's like the bridge between
Yeah.
fast fashion and like going into like Zara type of fashion.
I mean, we've had people on the show that say that they're like one of the worst for fast
In terms
fashion.
of what so
Just
quality?
the quality, the things they use. But let's focus on the good.
Right.
Let's focus on the
Yeah,
good
because
because we're
there's
here
so much
saving the
good.
planet,
Yeah.
and we want to focus on the solutions. And that is what you're talking about: is repurposing, shopping Goodwill.
Yes.
Going to
Outside of Goodwill,
garage
even.
sales.
Because yes, exactly. Bringing it back to the community aspect, going to estate sales, garage sales, discounted stores like Last Chance is one of my favorite stores to go to.
Oh, yeah.
Because although there's Nordstrom at the top of it, and
Yes.
there's Nordstrom Rack
Right.
that gives a better discounted price, but then there's Last Chance. They're gonna throw all of that shit away.
And
They're
that's
gonna-
stuff
you know
that's
what
been
I mean?
returned. So
That's
you,
stuff that's been
so
returned.
you are being sustainable when you
Yes.
shop there.
Because it's been used
Yes.
one time, or maybe there's a small rip in it, or something that could be easily fixed.
Or
you
maybe
know what I
somebody's
mean?
worn it a few times and they've returned
Literally.
it.
And they've just
So there's nothing
returned it.
wrong with it. You just clean it and it's good.
Yep.
So
and they're
that
gonna
is being
throw it
sustainable.
away. So that's complete sustainability. I enjoy shopping in this way
Mhm.
because I feel better when people are like, "Whoa, what designer is that?" Or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or like, "How did you put that together?" And
Mhm.
it's like, "Oh, I just literally got this for $10 and then I paired
Also,
it with this." You
People
know?
need to pay attention to the materials. If you're shopping with
Yes.
100% silk, 100% cotton, 100% linen, those materials are better for the environment.
Yes.
They're more
And
sustainable.
better
They
for-
last.
And better for
Your body.
too.
Better
Yes.
for your body.
You know, a lot of
Yeah.
people don't realize that fabrics, commercial fabrics, have toxic chemicals
Yes.
in them that you put on your body.
Mhm.
Yes.
You know, this is just another way that we're exposed to toxicity.
That's more.
Right.
That's exactly defining
yeah.
the fast fashion
Yeah.
because it has toxic
Yeah.
elements to it. Whereas
Absolutely.
people that are more aware, that are shopping with cotton, linen.
How many people, when they're shopping, they stop and read the label of what the fabric is?
Do
Even
you know who,
I don't.
do you know who
I
taught
do.
me that? Do you know who taught me that? My daughter.
Oh, really?
Rachel.
Yeah.
Rachel
Lovely.
will not purchase anything outside. She likes Lululemon exercise clothes
Yeah.
because it wicks away the sweat. But outside of like Lululemon and Aloe, she only wants cotton, linen, silk, 100%. You know,
I'm with you.
nothing,
Yeah,
no
me
fake
too.
products, no toxic.
I don't mind a nice. I love linen. You know me. And
I
it's
know, you do.
100%. I'd rather
Yes.
have 100% linen than linen cotton. But if I really want to get fancy, linen silk is
Ooh.
an incredible.
Oh yeah, she
blend.
loves that, and wool. But nothing
Linen
fake. Like she
silk.
doesn't want to have anything polyester
Yeah.
or rayon or any of those fake.
Rayon is the worst.
I feel like people just look at the thing and they're like, "Oh, that looks cool."
Yeah,
exactly. They don't think
really
about-
look into what it is or what the fabric.
It's
Well,
just like
since I
our-
learned about that, do you know why I look at it? I'm somebody that if I'm not wearing a fabric that is natural, like the linen or the cotton or the silk, I literally don't feel good. Like I feel
sure.
so much better.
Really?
So I can tell, and it makes me sweat.
Exactly.
I sweat. Yes.
I was just saying,
Yes.
I said rayon is the
Yes.
worst because
Yes.
on the Grand Avenue Festival and $1 Million Mingle, I had 2 shows in one day on Saturday,
Ooh.
and I wore this really beautiful dress that had like some cutouts and it had these long butterfly sleeves, completely rayon. I was sweating my ass off.
Yes.
I felt
It's a
so
natural
Yes.
fabric.
uncomfortable by the
No,
end of the
no.
day.
Rayon
It's
makes you sweat.
rayon is a natural fabric
No.
that was made from wood.
I honestly
It doesn't
was
do well
not
for
okay.
me.
Yeah, well,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
Maybe it's the
It-
the Arizona weather that contributed to that being a little bit more
Yeah.
hot.
I can't appreciate.
Yeah.
I can't
I
appreciate
understand.
the rayon.
But
And
I
neither does
didn't.
Rachel.
I was upset at the end of
Yeah.
the day, guys. I really was.
Now I don't know what the Lululemon and Aloe products are made out of because I feel very comfortable in those
Some
products.
dry fit. type
Yeah,
of
it's
thing,
something
you
to make
know?
you
Yeah,
not
but
sweat.
that's
Yeah.
polyesters. Those
Yeah,
are
for
polyesters.
sure.
I don't know what it is,
Yeah,
but
they're all
you think?
Yeah, dry fit is all polyester.
I don't think so.
I'm telling you, it is. Check it.
She doesn't think so.
I don't think so
Stop.
because I like it.
Well,
Right.
it is. But there's different types of polyesters. They've developed all these dry fit and these light. They're made, for athletic wear and to just, and they are polyester, but they've developed certain types of polyesters that are supposedly, not as
Bad as the others.
But if you're gonna go buy some jeans,
Yeah.
how nice to go down to, a store that my sister's closet, for
Right.
example, and repurpose a pair of jeans
Exactly.
that somebody and they have designer stuff.
If they would
That's
let
good
it
quality.
go for less than $300.
Oh, really? Is it expensive?
Oh yeah.
You see that slow blink?
What's that?
The slow blink. My sister's closet is a little bit expensive sometimes, but I that's where your own discernment comes in. You know what I mean? What is worth it to you? Is it gonna last?
Mhm.
Does it stand the test of time? Is it a timeless piece? Can I wear this in 20 years?
Exactly.
You know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Looking into the future to see whether or not it's the right purchase or not.
Right, because that is the
Well-
problem with fast fashion is we have to continuously. Well, I'm gonna exclude myself because I don't buy fast fashion. You have to exclude completely buy new things every certain amount of 2 months or something like that. You know what I mean? Because it's just like low quality. You're washing it a lot.
Well,
It's just
you know what we'll
like,
have to do?
oh.
We'll have to have Ann Signer on the show with you from Sister's Closet.
Okay.
At the same time, she founded it. She's the CEO.
Wow.
And I really love her
Hi,
because
Ann.
she supports our Humane Society here.
Awesome.
She's a big contributor because she loves animals and pets. And she's a big sponsor to helping, rescue animals and dogs and cats. And I love that.
Yeah.
And I think she started something that's super cool. And I do know that if you take your clothes to the Sister's Closet, you can get a big credit.
Oh, cool.
And then you can get a big discount on, kind of do almost like a trade.
Yeah, I
if
didn't
you
know.
will.
It kind of works like Buffalo Exchange, how you can
Exactly.
trade in your clothes and get that credit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, that's really
So,
awesome.
I mean, I think.
I tried to take some clothes to Buffalo Exchange one time. I had all these cool leather jackets and stuff. They didn't want any of it.
All they want is
Oh,
T-shirts.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I went with Rachel, my daughter. All of a sudden one day she was going to like Portugal or something, and she was like, "Oh, Mom, I'm gonna take a bunch of my clothes. I've got way too many clothes, and I'm gonna sell my clothes." And and I said, "Oh, I want to go with you," because I wanted to see what she had, because I knew she had some really cool designer stuff, and so and I thought it'd be fun too. So I said, "All right, I'll drive." And so I don't know, we went somewhere in Tempe. I can't remember which store it was, if it was Buffalo Exchange or which one. There's many of these,
Yeah.
consignment places, and everything she put down, I was like, I want that.
Yeah.
You
but,
said, I want that.
but hold on, hold
They
on.
didn't want
What-
anything.
No, they wanted everything,
Oh.
but they
Oh,
wanted
they
to give her
wanted
next to
everything.
nothing, and I'd be like, Rachel,
Yeah.
that was like $300,
Yeah.
and they only are going to give you $15 for that. I'm gonna buy it from you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so-
'cause they sell the way
They
that
don't
they
give
give
you
the
that
credits
money.
there
Yeah.
is like they give you a percentage of what they're gonna sell it for on the floor anyway,
Yeah.
and they're
Mhm.
already selling it at a discounted price.
So probably
So-
half of what she was going to sell,
Yeah.
we gave up, but the stuff that I could still fit into, I I was like,
You know-
Rachel, I'm gonna go buy this stuff. I
Yeah.
want it. Let me buy it from you, and I'll give you double.
I've known people that have made a fortune
Yeah.
buying jeans, buying denim,
Yes.
and repurposing it.
I
Yes.
love what you're
Fortune.
saying. Okay, I love what you're saying because
Especially like 10, 20 years ago. It was
Yeah.
huge, right?
I love what you're saying because there's.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the name of the designer because I want to start doing it too. But there's a designer that takes not only denim and denim jackets and army jackets and rock t-shirts that they buy at Goodwill for like a couple dollars,
Yeah.
and then they embellish it with crystals.
You
Yeah,
had
yeah.
one on last time.
And
that
then
I saw
listen,
you.
and then they sell them for like, there's jackets for like $600, and maybe they put in $50 into this
Mhm.
with the Swarovski crystals, or maybe $25, and there's
Right.
and some things are up to $1,000.
Yeah,
So it's
So now-
but you know what? More power to this person.
more power.
That
because
they're
it's their
taking-
art.
It's their art,
Yeah.
and they're being sustainable.
Yeah,
People are it's
Yeah.
they're taking something that's already existing and right, that's sustainable.
Yeah. I
It's
gotta know.
amazing.
We're talking about jeans. I've got to bring this up. This
Okay,
is,
cheers. I need some more
when you're a
wine.
kid
And
and
same
pour
for me.
yourself. What am I, a waiter? What am
Was
I,
it Holly?
your private servant?
thank
That-
What are you, a
that's
wino?
I am a wino.
What is he, a professional wino?
Professional
Right.
wino.
How do we find you, Richard Betts?
You find me at any good wine store.
Amazing.
But how does somebody look you up to have you help with buying wines?
Total wine every time.
Well,
Total
my
wine.
email is
I'm in the,
Okay,
I'm
here
in the
we go, here we go.
corner of
my
the store.
email
Email.
R, which is no.
Okay.
R, which is for Richard.
Mhm.
Wine, WINE, BETTS, which is my last name. So what does that make wine? My middle name.
Yes.
R Wine Bets. Get it?
Love it.
At AOL.com.
So our wine bets
Yes, at AOL.com.
at AOL.com. And you are
That's
in what's the name of the
status.
he's in this
Yes.
big
Email
beautiful
only.
coffee
Oh, yeah.
table book. What's that called?
Arizona Uncorked.
Arizona
Okay.
Uncorked. Yeah, he's in that book.
So anyway,
Shameless
I'm getting back to this jeans. This phenomenon blows me away. You know,
I'm trying to distract because that's my new business. I'm just going to buy all
No,
old
no,
jeans
no,
Trying
no.
to get
and
I've
embellish
got to
away.
mention this. This is classic.
Please.
Torn jeans.
Mhm.
Now look at torn jeans. You had when you tear the knees out in your jeans, and then you give them away. And now people are making so much money on
Yeah.
torn jeans. And
Yep.
now
Yeah.
you go buy pre-torn
Yeah,
jeans in
in
a
style.
store
Yeah.
and pay a fortune for them.
Yes.
This is the way fashion works.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
It's
this is
changing.
like, this
Yes.
is crazy.
I'm not going to say what kind of
Hey,
jeans I'm wearing.
Well,
right
you're
now.
not in fashion though because there's no rips in them.
But I have a
Yes.
second pair of these, and my second pair has the holes. It's the same brand.
But they do have a nice
Yeah,
flare.
and you bought them
Like
that way,
too.
right?
Yeah.
Pre-ripped.
Yes, I bought them.
No,
for-
yeah.
Not worn,
Yeah.
not worn to the point where they
I bought
rip
them at-
naturally.
Right.
I think I was at
LC's.
Tilly's.
Just-
I was at
it's-
Tilly's a
so
couple
funny.
months ago, and I went in there to go buy a pair of jeans. And I swear, more than 75% of the jeans in there were ripped already.
Well, you pay more for
Really?
the jeans.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
The selection was like so off.
They
There was
think they're so
more ripped
slick.
jeans than there was like.
Well, they
regular
are.
jeans. It was crazy.
They are.
They are slick, and what they're doing
You
is
know,
they're
they're-
saving materials as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're,
That's why they're
literally-
putting more out.
Yes.
Okay, so about 2 months
they're
ago,
a fad. They're a fashion fad.
Right.
2 months ago, I
And
said
those
to
come and
myself,
go, right?
Trendy.
I wanted to get
They come and go.
2 pairs of jeans that
Yes.
like would fit me like a glove, and they'd be just like And I went on this jeans fest, and I found some great jeans at Goodwill.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
Goodwill.
does have a lot of
Yeah.
jeans. You just have to be willing to sit through it all.
Oh yeah. When I was in high school, I went through my thrifting stage with one of my friends,
Hmm.
and we
Which
would
one?
go Zach.
Ah,
Zach and I
Zach.
would go to like Savers like every.
Every Monday.
Literally, it was like one day of the week. We would go every single week, and it was honestly a great time. Like it's, as well as it being, like a sustainable.
Well, let's get him on and
it's
talk about
also a good activity to do with your friends, your
Yeah.
family, or something. It's like it bonds you. You're out and you're searching for things. You're bonding with people.
It's like a contest. Who
Yeah,
can get
exactly.
the
There's a
gem
lot
that's
to
in
it,
here?
Yeah.
Like a treasure hunt.
It is like a tradition, and
Goodwill.
that's how
Yeah.
LC
It's
fun.
is.
a TV show.
You're
Right?
like you look forward to it. We'd be like, okay, thank God it's Monday. We're going to Savers.
Right.
Like, you look forward to it. Yeah.
That is actually one of my favorite things about consulting with clients is like getting to show them that side of fashion and being
Mhm.
like, hey, there are so many discount days that you can access, and it doesn't mean that the clothing quality is less or anything, or that you won't find that gem, but you have to know what you're looking for, and then you go on that certain day so they can get half off.
Exactly.
It's a winner.
You need to know what you're looking for.
It's a quest.
Yeah.
You're on a quest.
Right.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
I do want to say, I want to do a shout out to Aloe. Because do you know what Aloe stands for?
No.
Yes.
Aloe?
Yes.
Air, Land, Ocean.
Oh.
Do you know why it stands for Air, Land, Ocean?
Why?
Because everything about their company is sustainable, about protecting our environment and giving back to our environment.
Lovely.
So if you are going to recommend somebody shop somewhere, go to Aloe.
Are you wearing Aloe now?
She's trying to
Yeah,
get a
one
new
of the
sponsor.
I know. I was about to say Aloe and Angel Virtuoso.
She's trying to get a new
collab.
sponsor.
And shop Porsche. I
Right.
love Porsche. They have a lot of electric cars coming out. Porsche. Go to Scottsdale Porsche.
So
So he was trying to say something. Sorry.
drive a really cool Porsche wearing your Aloe.
Aloe.
Right.
Very
Aloe.
Very
You'll be-
sustainable.
You'll be like
Sustainable.
not only
Don't say
sustainable,
hello.
but the hippest fucking person around. Okay, I mean like the
Oh
pinnacle
my
of
gosh.
hipness.
In fact, I just got an Aloe jacket, and it's a faux fur.
Aloe.
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 Wow.
We'll have to send this to Aloe.
Well, I don't shop in thrift stores very often, but I never pay full retail.
That's it.
I've
That's the
chopped
way.
it, you know.
I like your shirt you're wearing. Where's that
well,
from?
guess where? Marshalls.
I love
Amazing.
Marshalls.
See, and that's also Marshalls, Ross, TJ Maxx.
Yes.
And this is a one-off. There was
Yeah.
only one of these there, and it happened to be my size.
I
I
will
That's
find
a cool
say.
incredible things there. Not every time,
Yeah.
but
What's
all
the
the time.
designer on that? I love it.
It is a designer.
What is it?
Those flowers?
Masuto. It's Italian.
Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, it is
It
Italian.
is.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
design on that?
That's
I
really
probably
cool.
paid
Flowers.
$30 for it, you know.
Looks.
So what
So
would that
I
be
love-
retail?
It
Full
does look like
retail, probably
flowers
200.
and
Oh yeah, at least.
Looks
So
Yeah, it
this
looks
is
expensive.
what I love doing is going and finding things
Yeah, it's fun.
Yes.
that you know because I have a good eye
Yes.
for fashion. I do.
He does.
Yes.
And
He
I
does.
pick out things and I wear these things.
You
and
should
then I
have
put things
him be
together,
your 60-year-old
I-
model.
Amazing.
and I put things together.
Put 'em on blast.
You know.
And that's it. That's the personal
serious.
style
Yeah.
aspect. That's
No, no,
what
Well,
yeah.
we
talk a
do.
That'd be
little
good.
bit more about. You just mentioned one of my clients. So
Okay.
tell us how that works. Who
Yes.
comes to you? How does this work?
Yeah. So
How do
okay.
you have this
People
set
come
up?
to me
Yes.
for different things. Some people want one-off things like maybe event styling, or maybe they just want a photo shoot to be styled. But then I have had retainer clients that have had me on for an extended amount of time, where they're like, "Hey, I would like you to take me shopping. I would like you to, clean out my closet as well, and
Oh,
stack
cool.
on services pretty much." Which I prefer retainer clients just because it's an all-encompassing experience.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be thinking about how much are you paying me hourly. That's not what I'm here for, And with the information that I'm giving you, I want you to be able to just call me when you need me, not call me when you're just going into your closet and you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm talking about. I have information to give you, you know what I mean?
I did get a call. Oh, Angel, I'm in my closet. I don't know what to wear.
Oh my gosh. And I'm like, just calm down, FaceTime me. FaceTime me immediately. Let me see the battlefield, okay? But yeah, so I have different people who contact me for different things. But all around, I just have a bunch of services that I can offer. Personal styling, personal shopping, closet cleanses and organization, spatial organization.
Go back. So
Mm-hmm.
closet cleansing.
Yes, so
I need that
Yes.
because I really want to. There's a lot of things I haven't worn in a long time.
Mhm.
Let's see
That's
how
where it
we can,
starts.
yes, and we can do a little video and we can come back and do another show about it.
Yes.
Let's
I
do
would
that.
love that.
Yeah,
I
and
need
Owen can
more
help with that.
testimonials. Video
And Richard could be there, too.
testimonials.
I need to clean. I need to weed out my closet too.
And we can
There's
make it a
lot of stuff I
win-win
don't
event where
wear.
you could sell your wine.
And you can,
Oh,
there
that
are
would be so
people
cool.
that can
Yeah.
use that clothing.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Use it. Just give it
Exactly.
away.
Exactly. In
Yeah.
fact, Owen helped me do a big closet cleansing because when I got divorced,
Nice.
I moved from a ginormous home into a smaller one,
Mhm.
and which was very sustainable. And but then I kept everything in these boxes, and the boxes went from one of the rooms. And then one day when I got some new furniture, I put it right by my front door, and I said, "This is staying here, so I'll get rid of it right away." But it was there for 8 months.
Yeah.
I had to crack down on
And
it.
finally,
Right.
Owen, tell us what we did. Ellen?
We went through all these boxes.
Right
Oh
here.
yeah, we went through all these boxes and basically put everything into 2 piles. One was stuff that she either didn't want anymore, was too small, or that she wanted to just give away, and the other one was stuff that she 100% wanted to keep. So we put that pile away, and then we just focused on the second pile and just went through it, and eventually got everything down to a respectable
But then
amount.
once we had, which I'm proud of Owen, is once we had the pile where, okay, no matter what, I'm keeping all this stuff. Then the pile was still too big, and I was like, Owen, help me still. Let's skim this stuff out too, because I don't have room for this, and I'm buying new more stuff, and I want to give back.
Yeah.
I want to give back, and there's
But
just
that
too
night
much
we
stuff there.
did drop off.
But
a
then I'm
box
proud of
of
Owen because I
clothes,
said, well, what I don't want from this
Goodwill.
pile,
Shout out
let's
Goodwill.
give to your mom.
I wouldn't give them to
Hey,
Goodwill.
listen,
Why not?
why?
I'd
It's
give them someplace
for
where people
profit.
who need clothing
Right.
don't
Drop
have
it
to
off
buy
to a
it.
shelter.
They
Oh.
need free clothing.
Yes.
The
Oh.
streets are filled
Dress
with
for
people.
Success Phoenix.
Yeah.
They
Tell
help
us where.
people.
Yeah.
Just for Success Phoenix is an organization I definitely know that they give
Yeah.
people clothes to go to interviews and show up properly.
Yeah.
So just giving it to shelters and different places like that. I mean, we love Goodwill, but Goodwill is for
We love
profit.
Goodwill.
Yeah,
Sure.
we got
What about
nothing
the-
against
okay, so I've
Goodwill,
been
but
seeing
some
a lot of
people
those,
can't
like,
even afford to
bins
shop there.
in
So
Yeah.
they're
parking
homeless.
lots. Are those good?
Okay. So where do we give
So-
clothes for homeless? This is what I want to talk about right now.
Okay, so I'm not exactly sure of all the organizations, but I definitely know.
But we
going
can
to
Google it.
Any local shelter,
Oh,
yes.
So
You
you're
can
teaching me
definitely Google
something.
that.
I thought homeless people could go to Goodwill and
They
get
still have
clothes
to
for
buy
free.
it. No,
They
they
do?
still have to buy it.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
We
Hold on. I'm taking
donate
off my
our
glasses for a second.
clothing.
But
We
you're
donate
telling me
our
a
clothing
homeless
for free.
person cannot go to
Well, I
Goodwill.
feel like that would make sense because somebody could just say they're homeless and then go get
Exactly.
clothes. So
Yeah. But donating it
at
directly
certain
to a
shelters,
shelter
yeah.
No, there's
or directly to an organization,
What about St.
nonprofits
Vincent de
that-
Paul? I know they have a clothing store.
Churches also, yes, just like they do food drives, they have clothing drives as well.
Yeah.
All of these local organizations gearing towards nonprofits really. It's they're the ones who are gonna
Okay,
help
so
the
I have to do
community
more research, and I'm glad you brought this
Mhm.
to my attention.
yeah.
Very
Because
good.
in the future, as I donate, I want to donate where people can get the clothing,
Yeah, there's a bunch
Where
of
they don't have to pay for it.
organizations.
Right.
and I thought Goodwill was one of those options.
No,
Although I love
unfortunately
Goodwill,
not. We
because they-
love Goodwill. Shout out to Will of Goodwill.
Well, because I don't know if you guys know, something that Goodwill does is they will help people find jobs.
Yeah,
People can come to them and,
Mhm.
and for free be trained to go out and get a job.
for sure. And that is one way that they help the community. And that's just not the most sustainable way for people to get clothing for free, though.
Right,
You know,
because
and
somebody
everybody
homeless
has
that
their
isn't
own
dressed
lane.
right,
Right.
they can't go out and get a job.
Exactly.
They need to, they need to,
They need
okay.
to be properly groomed and just
Yeah.
have clothing that is not tattered and ripping apart because unfortunately people do judge even when people are trying to do better.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
this is something super cool, and I don't know if you've met him yet, but I'm not saying what hike we do because I don't want strangers there. But, well, I
Secret
don't want
hike.
stalkers. But there is a hike that I do, and there's a guy that religiously goes on this hike. He does have a white gray buzz, and I've gotten to know him by the hikes. And he and his wife feel the best way for them to give back is there's a Taco Bell that's close to where they live, where there's a ton of homeless people
Yeah, so
that
they
are
directly
drunk and on
can-
drugs. But what he'll do is he'll give them, not them, he'll pick out somebody that he can make eye contact with
can connect with.
and
yeah.
connect with, and then he'll give that person money, and slowly he'll find one person at a time that we're going to do a show about it, and you should be on that show to help us dress these people, because
Yeah.
anyway, so slowly they've gotten one person at a time to get them dressed, get them fed, and help them get jobs.
Awesome.
Help them get
Cool.
jobs. And one of the guys that he actually helped actually works at Stake 44 as a valet.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
See,
So
that's
that's-
real community impact.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
In my neighborhood,
Yeah.
I live in the Grand Avenue Art District. It is the historical art district of Phoenix,
Mhm.
and it is so
Mhm.
amazing, and it's so many wonderful things that happen on Grand. Unfortunately, with the houseless population and just how downtown Phoenix and all the businesses have completely like pushed people out instead of giving them resources,
Right.
there are some people that do come over there, and instead of it being like a thing that bothers me, I simply give whatever I have, like my lotions, toothpaste, just like socks. I just sit it at this bus stop where I know people go and they hang out sometimes, and I'll just put it at the bus stop, and every single time, it never takes more than 12 hours for that stuff to be gone and used.
I love
Deodorant,
that.
shoes. I've given so much stuff just putting on the bus stop, because that's direct community engagement. It's showing people like, hey, I might not be able to relate to you in that way. Or,
Wow,
you
I love
know,
that.
like I'm not in the same stage that you are. But I still see you as a human. I'm still here to help in some capacity.
It's
and
a huge way to give
exactly,
help.
and I don't even need to
love it.
directly.
I love it.
Love it.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's just it's awesome.
So I want to reflect back on his name's Tim, because he and his wife Sally follow through on one person at a time, trying to get them a haircut, get them a shower, help them get a job, get them
Yeah.
clothed right,
And that's within their capacity, so that's
take them and feed them.
Yeah.
And you know, and they see, and they say some people fall off the wagon because maybe they do have a drug problem, or maybe they have an alcohol problem, but they still keep encouraging.
That's all you can
And
do.
that, you know, to me that's so cool. Instead of just anonymously giving money to you don't know, and you
Whatever
don't see what's
big
happening,
corporation, right.
and you don't know where it's going.
I think that's very admirable because, like I said, it's within their capacity. We cannot save the world by ourselves. We can save the world as a collective, but it takes extending ourselves to when we can and where we can at any given time. And that.
But if every
will
person can find one
impact.
person that
If
can
everybody did that, though, that's what I'm saying. We do
Huge.
it together. It can't
Yes.
just take one person to be able to change everyone.
Exactly.
So I think that's incredibly admirable of those people, that they are taking people and they're completely like taking them from their low point to a point where they are fully sustainable, getting them out in the world and then starting on someone else, rather than having a bunch of people and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so up in the air, you know what I mean? And they're
not
like
being
exhausting their
able to help
resources.
them.
And Owen knows
Right.
a very good friend of mine. I'm just going to say his first name. His name's Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, he's got so much money. You know, what is he doing to help others? A lot.
Yeah,
He's doing a lot. He's adopted like so many kids.
that's
And he's
beautiful.
adopted kids that have had like a lot of problems
Mhm.
and that are in wheelchairs. And,
Yeah,
you know, he has to hire people to take the disabled on, you know, like they have like 2 nurses that have to carry him around. And,
Yeah.
you know, so tangibly, physically, he's helping, you know, a lot of people.
I also would
So-
like to just like whoever's listening, just really relinquish how you feel about what people are doing in the world, and judging people for how much or how little they're doing, because it's one of those things where it's like even a smile can change somebody's day. You know what I
So
mean?
true.
And that could be the same magnitude.
Your smile can
of-
change my day.
You know what I mean? And that could be
Yeah.
of the same magnitude as giving somebody a home. Granted, it's like definitely a polarity and it's different, but like we all can help in different ways, and there are so many ways to help people, and there are so many people that need help in different ways and capacities. So like, don't judge each other for not being able to help in a certain way. Just know that if you're doing something helpful, you're changing the world.
Well, any way you can help. I mean, I
Exactly.
feel like I'm always helping others.
Yeah,
Owen sees that. Owen knows.
very beautiful.
Wait, on that note, I feel like in today's society and world, we see homeless people as like this kind of like different part of the world, but in reality, they're human beings too.
Yes.
I see so many people just being rude and negligent to these people that like had something go wrong in their life,
Exactly.
and it's like it could happen
So
to anybody if
simple.
you really think about
It
it.
could.
So being nice to those people is not the hardest thing. Just saying hi or just
Right.
The reality is, in our country, the
Yeah.
majority of the people that live in this country are one paycheck away from
Yep.
yeah, I know. It's
being
crazy.
that homeless
Yeah,
person.
exactly.
Yep.
So
It could be anybody. So just
And so
seeing those people
that's
on the,
important
on the
that you're
street-
saying that, because I personally think that our country should help our country first.
Yeah, me too.
I do. I don't think we should be
US,
out there
what the fuck is
helping
that?
other countries
Yeah, exactly.
when our country needs help right here.
Yeah.
And you know, where this brought it struck for me is my kids went to an amazing school. My kids turned out amazing. I'm very proud of them. And my nephew
yeah.
went to the same school and he turned out amazing. I'm very proud. But I felt like there was always this trip to go help people in a different country
Yeah.
and donate in that other country.
Yeah,
And I'd say to my kids, I'd say, we're gonna donate right here. I'm not
Yeah.
sending you on that trip there because I want to help right here. What I see needs help right here
For sure.
because I want to help my neighbors. I want to help my sister. I want to help my brother, and I want to help people right here that I can see need help.
For
and that's
sure.
what we've done.
For sure.
So,
I think
start
there's a place
with your
for everyone
friends
and
and
how
family.
they can help. Yeah. And
Friends
it
and
definitely
family
starts
first.
with our immediate circles.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was almost like I felt like it was an excuse for everyone to go on a trip to donate over there. It's like, no, just help right here.
For sure.
Just help, when you see somebody that's homeless and you see somebody that doesn't have a meal, help them right here.
right.
Exactly. You don't have to give them money. Just
Right.
give them, like a couple days ago, I saw this homeless guy. He was on like the side of the 51, and I had an extra bottle of water. I just gave it to him. He was so
Literally.
grateful. The look he gave me
Of course.
was amazing. He was
Yeah, it's
just
called
so
gratitude.
grateful for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
It's not that hard to just be nice.
It's the
not.
circle of life and completely like recycling our own energies within our own life, which brings us back to sustainability too, is recycling,
Yes.
recycling, and recycling.
Mhm.
If we realize that we have the power,
Mhm.
we are the generators, we have infinite amount of power to circle through each other. So like that's really what all of this is about, to be honest.
And we're here saving the planet.
Exactly.
One show at a time. So I think we only have about like 5 minutes left. Is that correct? So how can we be more impactful, Angel,
First,
in the fashion world? Number one.
okay, in the fashion world, I
Give
think
us some
that
tips.
we can be more impactful by doing clothing swaps rather than donating even.
You
Yeah, take it right on off. Let's all exchange.
I like that better.
Clothing
Let's
swap.
do it.
Clothing swaps or just donating to marginalized communities, whether that's like as far as homelessness or as where that's as close as like a young child who may need clothes, you know what I mean, who doesn't really have access back to school stuff, but another way,
I love that. People don't think about that.
people don't think about that
Because
There's
back to
so many
school,
kids who don't have,
and back to school, they need something new.
they
and
need some
refreshing.
clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
an arena where it's highly competitive.
And I
you
love that
know?
you're saying this
If you're
because
not wearing the right stuff, you're
Right.
not cool.
when I
You
donated
know.
boxes and boxes, I was saving like all these like, when Chet and Rachel were 2, and when they were 5, and when they were
Yeah.
1, and when they were infants. And I was like, oh, I'll give this back to their kids when they have kids. And one day I was like,
No, give it to
when
other
they
kids.
yeah when they have kids, they're gonna want something new.
right.
That
Something of the time.
at the time.
Yeah.
Give this away, and I gave it all away, and it felt
Absolutely.
so good to give it away.
Yeah.
It felt really good to give it
Another
away.
way to be sustainable in fashion is like if you have a garment that may be going to shit, if it's not completely shitty, try and learn how to hand sew. You know what I mean? To stitch up your old shirt or like fix a button, learn how to sew on a button. That way you don't just think that these clothes
Give
are
it away,
expendable like they are, because they end
Do
up
you know how to
going-
do that?
I do know how to sew buttons.
So
Yeah,
maybe we'll do a
absolutely.
show about that.
Yeah.
I need
It's
to learn.
very easy.
We got
very
like
easy.
6 shows planned right now.
One time, I actually turned a pair of bootleg Abercrombie jeans. It was my 10th grade year. A bootleg pair of Abercrombie jeans. I turned them into skinny jeans when they were first coming out. I spent the entire summer hand sewing these jeans in my grandma's apartment. And that was the first time I ever was like, wow, I just did something.
Yeah,
like
makes
I
you
turned.
feel so good.
I was a designer. Now I see why people call me a designer. Wow.
Okay, now I'm going to show you this designer that I'm talking about that
Yes.
does all this repurposing, because I think we've got something here.
Mm-hmm.
If you know how to sew,
So I'm not like
Honey.
a cut and sew. I don't know how to use the machine like that.
because
I
I've got
really
the
want
boutiques
to.
where we can sell
Well,
it.
that's
We
a
can
good
sell it at
start.
my mom's art gallery
Okay,
and another friend's spot.
for sure.
I'm not going to say what it's called right now.
Now, I would be willing to do some kind of project, but I'm not a sewer. I want to just tell you the idea and let's
So we need
just
a
talk
sewer.
about it. Yeah.
Owen can be the
So
sewer.
we
we
need
need-
someone
Don't
who's
know how
a
to sew,
seamstress.
but
So-
hey.
Yeah, but I'm here for it.
Well-
But okay, wait, one more thing.
We'll get a seamstress.
Well,
We're
What
fine.
we can
You
do.
can't be on that TV show about the designers because they'd have to do all their own
I know.
sewing.
That's
Oh,
why
I'm
I've
so
never
sorry.
applied. Never. Me on Project Runway, they would laugh at me. I'd be cut the first episode. The first episode.
What do you mean you can't sew?
All right.
But you can design and
I
you can
think-
It's a
style.
good skill. Yeah.
I think another way to be sustainable in fashion is also to just kind of like buy local. These designers,
High five.
that are out here and they're spending 12 hours on one garment. You know what I mean? It's a real thing. And buying local is going to help put more money into our community, because every city thrives off of small businesses. We run this place, you know?
Last tip, we have 1
cities.
minute left.
Okay, 1 minute. Last tip. Just dress how you love, and just try to be as conscious as possible about what you're doing for the environment. Look up landfills, look up different clothing mills and stuff, like in Chile, stuff like that. Just get more educated on what fast fashion is, what sustainability is, and how you can impact our environment.
And feel happy.
Really important. And feel happy while doing it, because we're saving the world.
Saving the planet one show at a time.